channel. We are about to jump on live, do another weigh-in in our pilot season of The Biggest Transformation. We have our fantastic, magnificent, amazing, whatever you want to put in front of it, 7 people that we are journeying with on their journey to become the very best versions of themselves, on their journey to shed all this weight that in many cases has been following them around for decades. For a lot of them, this has been a struggle that they just haven't been able to kick. And so if you have not watched any of the previous episodes, I will link them down below. While you're here, I would love to have you join our growing community here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, ring the notification bell. We are live every single Wednesday with a brand new episode of The Biggest Transformation. So with that being said, you want to keep watching. This is going to be a great episode. So stay all the way to the end and let's go ahead, jump on, get into the weigh-ins and see how much they lost this week. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so Karen, you are first.
$190.
All right, Shane. All right, you're all set, buddy.
All right, you can see it. Jen's gonna hold the phone for me. All right. $346.4.
Okay, Denise, I've got you big. Was that 284.4?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah, it was 284.4.
Am I next?
Yes, you are.
Here we go.
225 even.
I saw 221.8.
Right. Okay.
Judy.
$229.9.
And Peggy.
$154.6.
Okay. Last week, you guys lost a total of 20.4 pounds as a group. Since we started, 156.1 pounds. That's great. I'm sorry, I just had to say it again. All right. So this week, holding on by a half of a 0.1 percentage. A half of a 0.1 percentage. In first place with 8.3% of their body weight lost is Karen. Wow. Creeping up behind her to tear her down and shove pizza down her throat is Shane. At 8.2% of your body weight lost. You all are in Karen was 8.31, Shane was 8.28.
Wow.
That's how close.
Coming for you.
What's that song? I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. That song. All right, that song. In third place, 7.4% of your body weight, body fat, all the nasty stuff lost. The 7.4%, Andy.
Yay.
Fourth place with 5.7% of your body fat lost is Denise at 5.7%.
Good job.
Peggy in fifth place with 5.3%. 5.3%. Good job, Peggy. Ashley, you are in seventh at 4.1%. You have lost 4% of the Ashley you started with. All right, in seventh place, Miss Judy, you have lost 3.2%. Good job, girlfriend.
Good job.
I just always, does anybody else, when I say the percentages, picture like, okay, how much of that, like chopping off? 156 pounds, y'all. That's, I mean, wow. All right, so here's what I will say. As you're going through this, and I know some of you have already started to have these revelations, you are going to learn so much about yourself and your body. I will tell you, me losing weight was probably the single biggest revelation train I've ever been on. I learned more about myself during those 13 months of losing weight than I ever learned at any personal development conference, that I ever learned reading any book, that I ever learned listening to any podcast. First and foremost, you're gonna learn how your body works. Like for me, I learned that time of the month that and I've learned this about other women, coaching them too. It's not always women who are having a menstrual cycle. Sometimes there's just that specific week. And what I learned is even when I was going through my numbers for you guys, showing you a snippet of when I lost weight, if you notice, there was typically 1 week during that month where I lost almost nothing or stayed the same. But then the next week for me, it'd be like 6, 7, 8 pounds lost the next week, as long as I did the things I was supposed to do during that 1 week. For whatever reason, my body and my mind hated me during that week. I was like, come on, lose something. And it was like, but as long as I was good and I didn't rebel with my emotions of, I'm not losing nothing, fine. Then the next week I would always have a really big drop. And so you're going to start recognizing what your body does, how it works. That's one of the most amazing things about us weighing ourselves every day is, we're able to see those things. You're going to start seeing what your body reacts to as far as food. If your body reacts to certain foods, if it doesn't, you're going to be able to start seeing that. You're going to be able to see patterns. I know you guys were talking about this week in the Polo group. Patterns. Like most people, and they don't even know this about themselves, have a pattern of quitting between the 21 and the 28 day. Between the 14 and the 28 day. That is most people's hit a wall, F this, I'm over it, I'm cheating, I'm quitting. Why? Because at some point between the 14 and the 28 day, the hard sets in, right? The excitement starts to wear off. And when you're excited, excitement can kind of overcome old habits in the short term. Excitement can kind of overpower cravings in the short term. But after a while, when that newness starts to wear off, then you're just left with the old habits. Then you're just left with the emotions. Then you're just left with all those things. So now it's like the work, right? And so I know a lot of you were talking in the group that, oh my goodness, this is like new territory. I normally never make it past this point. Yeah. And then battling this emotional thing. Like, listen, there's never been a truer statement when we say we're battling this emotion. Weight gain, being overweight is 100% emotional, 100%. And so we are trying to take the emotion out of it and make it logical. And that in itself is like World War, 4. It is like a warring against ourselves. And so this is as much as this is a health journey to become the very best version of yourself, this is a discovery journey as well. You're going to discover, you're going to dig up emotions. You're going to dig up, for some of you, some forgiveness issues like we talked about last week, some things that you haven't forgiven, that you've buried, that are causing some of those emotions. that are causing some of your triggers. Have you ever noticed emotionally you have triggers? There's just some people, some things that just, you have a 8 reaction when it was a 2 offense. And if you're an emotional eater, anytime you have a reaction, happy or sad, it's like, give me all the stuff. And so this entire journey, you're going to be discovering things about yourself. And that's okay, because you want to know also what's cool is when you start succeeding in one area, success has a trickle effect. So as you start succeeding in your health, you're going to see, you're just going to flow over into other areas. As you start taking control of your health, that control is you're going to start having, it has a trickle effect. As you start feeling empowered in your health, that has a trickle effect. So like it flows into other areas. So as you start losing weight here, for some of you, you're going to start seeing more success in your marriage, more success in your parenting, more success in your business or on the job. You're going to, if you allow the success, the control. I'll talk to people who have been out of control in their health, and all of a sudden they'll feel in control with their kids. They'll feel in control with their employees that they manage. So all of this has a trickle effect. It's going to affect every other area of your life in a very positive way. Yeah, there's only a couple of areas that weight loss statistically can affect you negatively. And we're not gonna talk about them this week, but we will be talking about them in this group. There's only a couple of areas that weight loss statistically can affect your life negatively. And really, that's just if you're not aware of them, honestly, because it hasn't had that effect on me. I'm a researcher. So when I was losing weight, I actually went and how can this be negative? And I was like, oh, really? People that lose a lot of weight struggle with this and this? Well, I'm not going to do that. What did they do? And how can I do the opposite? So we are going to talk about that in this group as we get a little further down. Awesome. So, and I just want to say, Judy, I was really proud of you last week, because sometimes when the scale is not moving and you know you're doing everything right and you see the scale moving for others, it really plays mind games with you. And for you to say no, and I loved how you said, I'm doing everything right. I'm not liking the scale right now, but I'm going to keep doing everything right. And then you even casted vision on top of it. Next week, I'm just hoping I'm going to have a big drop. So you controlled what you could. You let go of what you couldn't, and you focused on where you were going, because we can't control that scale in the moment. But I loved how you still were able to have the vision that if you keep doing everything right, if you keep doing what you're supposed to do, it's impossible for it not to work. It is impossible. It's not it is not even an equation that adds up. If you do the right activity, the right outcome will come. And so, but emotionally in the moment, that can be very hard to see. So I was so proud of you to stick to your guns, to stay positive, and to not waver in your commitment. That is so freaking huge. So I just wanted to say, awesome job.
Thank you.
And you led so well. At some point, all of us are going to have a week that doesn't go well. At some point, statistically, based on the numbers. And so you led so well, being the first one to have that. And I don't want to say you were handpicked to go through that first, but you went through it very well. And you led very well through that. And so I think you set the standard and the bar of how that should be walked through, so that if anybody else happens to go through that inside of this group, I'm just going to be just do what Judy did. Drink your water, drink your shake, stay on plan, no cheating. Look forward to the next week.
Where do you see yourself 1 year from now?
A year from now, summer's warmer than here. That's for sure. And seriously, I really would love to see me and my husband do our 25th anniversary celebration. Summer's warm. Hoping borders will open by then. And not only that, but that I will be at my goal weight. Because I know it's possible. So I would love to see myself at my goal weight. and summer's on a beach in a really cute swimsuit. I want to be able to like walk on the beach without my body, like my knees collapsing or hurting or anything like that. And if I don't get that vacation, just in general, I just want to be able to see myself active and engaged and not sitting on the sidelines anymore. Go shopping with my daughter and have fun trying clothes on, and everything will fit. And I can find some really, really nice, cute clothes. That's what I would love in a year from now.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Denise. Andy, hey, I saw y'all disappear. I'm like, oh yeah, where'd our married couple go? Yeah, where'd they go? They got a they go.
You-
We got a knock on the door.
Oh, yeah, my
I'm just teasing.
Son
I'm
needed
just
something.
teasing. Whenever I see a married couple disappear together, you know, my
Yeah.
brain goes,
well, it was only for like 10 seconds. So. that could be true too, but anyhow. Okay.
Andy, you're looking rather young and dapper today. I don't know what it is. Like you just
I cut the beard off. I just have this.
Oh, you did?
See?
well, maybe it's that, but even your shoulders, like, I don't know, you just look like way smaller to me.
Oh, well,
He is.
I'm 25 pounds down, so
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, okay. Anyway, where do you see yourself a year from now?
I've actually thought about that, and I've been on weight loss journeys so many times, and I've actually lost all the weight many times. I did a half a marathon. I did some crazy stuff. And then as soon as I hit my goals, I just started eating again and gained every bit and every time more back. I don't want that. No, I don't want to say I don't want it. That's not going to happen again. I see myself continuing to work out daily. I see myself where the way we're eating now is just the way we eat. It's not like, wow, I can't wait to this biggest transformation's over and I can go back to eating what I want. You know, it's what I want is hopefully, or not hopefully, is going to be, I got to get rid of that hopefully stuff. What we're eating now, because you know, I'm enjoying it. We're finding things that we like that are, you know, I just did not like eating healthy stuff. I liked eating fatty, flavorful junk. And I also see myself going to the lake and taking my shirt off and feeling good about myself. I kept telling people, they're like, why don't you take, and I'm not being honest, why don't you take your shirt off? I'm like, I just don't like the water. I don't like getting burned. I don't like, it's like, it's just great. Not being honest, you know? So, you know, I would like to get more fit. I haven't thought about competitions, but just staying fit, staying on muscle burns fat. There's this older dude. I mean, I'm 57, he's 60 something. And that guy is jumping around like crazy. I'm like, I want to do that like that old. I mean, it's possible. He's doing it, you know? So
It has been my dream for forever to get into bodybuilding. And 1 year from now, I would like to be doing that, you know, working at that, beginning that road. I know it's going to take time, but that's what I would like to, that's where I would like to be.
Shane, let me get you up on the big screen. I see you. You're big. I mean,
Wow, thanks, Carmen. Wow.
not what I meant.
First question is, where do I see myself a year from now? You know, that's a good question, Carmen. I haven't dared to dream yet, so let's see, a year from now, I will still be on this journey. I'm sure I'll still be fighting hard every day to get this weight off. I see, when I envision a year from now, I see myself being more active, especially when it comes to sports. You know, in Minnesota winters a year from now, we'll have 2 feet of snow like we do now. So that it might be hard to play some, like, you know, ultimate frisbee or something, but, you know, basketball at the gym or something. I really miss my sports days. And also, I want to be way more active and better at like my YouTube channel. Right now, it's hard for me to get in front of the camera and talk, and I know part of that is a confidence thing. And I'm just hoping that a year from now, that I will have a lot more confidence and I'll have more of my journey behind me that I can speak to and talk about.
That's awesome. Yeah, in case y'all didn't know, Shane started, did you upload the first video?
I've got 3 videos up, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even, okay, Jackie, you just told me you just did your first one. So
I did my
Shane is
first one.
walking through his weight loss journey on YouTube, yeah?
Yep.
He is chronicling the entire thing on YouTube. Did you ever think the first area you'd ever talk on YouTube would be about health?
Nope. That would not have been my first go-to.
Oh,
Dad jokes, maybe.
right, exactly. So anyway, when I'm done, I'll be hopping over there. I'll be subscribing, ringing the bell, and smashing the like button.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I have 3 subscribers. I looked at Jenna, I said, I have a following.
Ash, you're up. Where do you see yourself 1 year from now?
Sorry, I had a tickle in my throat right when you called my name. So 1 year from now, or backing it out to when we started, would be my 40th birthday. So hopefully COVID's gone and we have I have a vision of, we have a winery near us. I want to have all my family and friends come and have a fun gathering. And I want to feel really, really good in some kind of glittery something.
A year from now, I'd like to be 120. I look pretty freaking scary. Whoa. 125 is what I'd like to be, because I'm barely 5'2". And yeah, that's what I'd like to be. And on a beach, preferably Hawaii with my husband. That's where I see myself a year from now.
A struggle that you have had that you overcame this week?
Those little eating habits came back in a vengeance this week. And I don't know that there was a trigger for it. They just came back. And it wasn't every night. But I overcame them. I thought, no. And I had my tea. Yesterday at the party, I wanted to eat those sweets so bad, so bad. And I refrained from doing that. I thought, no, I'm not going to do that, because I've worked very hard to lose those 3 pounds this week. So I was proud of myself for
a struggle you had that overcame this week.
All right. So this week it was definitely food. I say more so my attitude when it comes to food. So on Tuesday, I was helping set up a new clinic, and they're training everybody. And because the clinic was just switching over, they catered in lunch from Panera. I like Panera, and they had all these box lunches. Also, I had zero accountability. I wasn't around anybody that knows that I'm on this journey. It was all new people that didn't know me. And with that lack of accountability, I copped an attitude where I just said, yeah, I'm just going to do this. And then you try to think about other things, right? And try to get it out of your head so you don't feel bad, and you don't let your conscience come back in. And I pushed it away, and that's what I did. And I took a Panera box out to my car, and I ate in my car. And I regretted it all week, and I felt such shame, and I was just really disappointed in myself for compromising, because that was like my first cheat. I've like not hit my meal plans exactly, but this is the first time I actually made that decision and grabbed food that I knew I shouldn't be eating, that wasn't on my meal plan. So um, it was really good. The group coached me through it without even knowing, because a lot of us are having similar situations, right? And you're coaching with a lot of people just processing the video, or the latest episode 3. It a lot of people were talking about overcoming and about not hiding specifically, and it was like getting smacked in the face every time somebody said something about it. I was like, I can't just live with this internally for the rest of my life. So I got on the Marco Polo and I told everybody, and it was really good. I mean, it helped relieve me, and it got rid of the shame, because the shame was all about hiding so people wouldn't find out. Once people found out, then I felt the freedom to move past it and to not dwell on it anymore. And I really haven't thought about it much since. And I actually, like, I worked extra hard the next couple of days. I drank more water. I actually did T25 and I didn't feel like it was good enough, so I did another T25 one morning. And a lot of that was because I modified so much in the first one. It was really difficult. But yeah, I was just like, I'm not gonna let this stop me, and I'm not gonna let it hold me back. So anyway, that's that.
Struggle you had and overcame this week.
I am pretty much going to say food. Oh, it's been yeah. I was shopping this week for Valentine's cards and some Valentine's things to send to my boys. And all Easter stuff is out. And I'm an Easter chocoholic, I will say. I love all the Easter chocolates. I just like gravitate towards that more than even Christmas, more than any other season. And so walking through those aisles and seeing all that stuff, that was brutally hard, because I could have very easily bought it. And I was already working on my mind with that. Oh, Denise, no one's going to know a Cadbury egg. I mean, put it in your purse. Who's going to notice? All the thoughts came back that I've had many, many times, where I can put this in my cabinet and nobody's going to see. But I didn't. I did not give in to those. I did not buy a single Cadbury cream egg. I didn't buy a single mini egg bag, even though it felt like it was calling my name and there was lights shining bright all around them. I didn't buy any of it. And so I felt really good about that. And then last night, I make these homemade white soft cookies that are shaped like hearts, and I decorate them and I send them to my boys as well. With a Valentine's card, and they share it with all their dorm guys. And so I was making them last night, and I was so close to licking my finger because there was some icing on it. And I was like, no, you can't lick that. And I went and washed my hand. And immediately, as soon as I was done icing everything, I put all the cookies in the freezer, and I haven't touched them, and I've been good. So that's been my struggle this week.
That's amazing. Awesome job. That is amazing. So good. So proud of you.
Thank you. I feel good about it too.
No, that's incredible that you caught yourself. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I was actually, you know what came to my mind was Jackie's video of your food. And he said, and she doesn't even touch it. She doesn't nothing. And I was like, I'm going to be a Carmen. I'm not going to even lick my finger.
A struggle that you overcame this week.
Well, I brought my favorite pizza around here to the guys on the job, and I'm in the truck and it just smells so good. It's just like, wow. I get up there, I bring it to the guys, and none of these guys really have a problem with weight. They love it. So, I have my eating. I'm on the MyFitnessPal, so I'm doing the calories, but I have a plan. So pizza that day was not in that plan. Pizza's not in the plan at all right now, maybe for a cheat day. But these pizzas are they're small. I looked it up. They're 110 calories for a cheese pizza. Something a slice. One. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I could trade that off for, because I'm on my fitness pal, I can trade it off for my calories. But then I thought, no, that's not my plan. So I resisted, and the guys were like, aren't you going to have some pizza? I'm like, no. And they know what I'm doing. I'm like, one won't hurt. I'm like, it probably won't, but it's not my plan. And didn't do it. So that was, yeah, I would normally feel pressure to go, yeah, you know what, why not? Let's have one or two. It's not going to hurt anything, but it was not part of the plan. And that's where, like you said, that little bit just keeps, just goes. And then the bigger struggle than that is nighttime. I was a nighttime snacker, nighttime cereal guy, eater, bowl eater, and I've not been doing that. But it still is a struggle almost every night. I'm drinking more. I'm like, I got to drink more water. I got to, or I'll save like a rice cake for dessert. Well, I'd have a bowl of cereal, or, after I just ate. I mean, I just eat a big meal, not a big meal, but plenty. And immediately I'm thinking I'm hungry, but I can't be hungry. There's no way. So I'm overcoming that, but I want to say that's still a struggle, but I've done well. I've not eaten a single bowl of cereal or had, anything out of the plan. So I'm overcoming it. It's still right, up in the head.
So proud of you. Like, so many of those things were so huge. And that's why you're down 25 pounds, because you are overcoming those. That's why you're drilling new holes in your belt, because you're overcoming those things. A struggle you had and overcame this week.
Really, 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 really proud of how I handled myself yesterday in a couple ways. One, speaking up for myself and being assertive. And you see a little sassiness in me this week. It's there. I actually, yeah, we'll just leave there. It feels good to own your decision. It feels good to not care what everyone else thinks. It feels good to not go with the crowd. It feels good to not just give in to what my girlfriends want to do all the time and say, dude, I don't want to go to 2 winery places today. It's my birthday. I wanted to go shopping. You guys asked me what I wanted to do. So I went shopping while they went and drank, and I bought this.
Yes.
And it was like $6, but I wanted it, and I'm putting it up on my mantle. And I used that the rest of the day. And I did not have any excuses. I had made a plan that I was going to have 1 drink and feel okay with it, whatever that did to me on the scale. And it did. I didn't think it would, but it did. I went up a pound, probably not from the drink, probably from the salt. So yeah, I felt really good about making my plan, knowing that it was, a risky choice the day before weigh-in, but being okay with owning whatever that happened on the scale. Like, I'm not used to that. And that felt really good. Even though I was up this morning a pound from where I was yesterday, I was like, it doesn't matter. I made
overcome this week. We already talked about that extensively. I wanted to throw the scale out the window, and I wanted to thank everybody for all their support. Old me would have been like, forget this. Because I legit worked out so hard. I drank my water. Beach bars, I don't know what those count as in the containers. So maybe that's another question I need to know. But yeah, that's definitely what I overcame. Continue, not giving up, because trust me, part of me wanted to give up.
This week was food. There was a couple days that I just wanted to snack, and like yesterday morning, I worked out, I had my Recover, I had my Shakeology, and I was like, I'm starving. So I ate a couple of my containers not out of plan, but out of order, just so that I could get something in me without going off the rail. So I didn't eat anything that wasn't on my plan. My son makes these little tiny waffles, and I was like, oh, I could just have one of those and but I didn't have any. And so it was, it always feels good when you overcome and you don't cave in. It's like, oh, okay, I got through that. Now next time it'll be easier and easier. So,
You know, the people that I know that have never had a weight issue, you know, they, in my eyes, they don't understand that. You know, but for them it was easy to just, well, a lot of people that I knew too could just eat what they wanted to eat, and if I ate that same stuff, I mean, for me it was just, I would gain weight and they wouldn't gain weight, and they couldn't understand where I was coming from with it. You know, for them it was like, well, just don't eat it, or just do this, or just do that. And the thing is that I was doing those things and still gaining weight. And so yeah, I mean, I've had friends and even, you know, my husband that has never had a weight issue, that just didn't understand my struggles, my emotions, because he had never been there and had to deal with any of that. Because for me, there was a lot of emotions, you know, that the shame that comes in. That's the biggest thing that comes into play, is the shame. You know, I'm sure, have you ever gone through your whole closet to put something on? You know, you put it on and it doesn't look good, and then yeah, I've struggled with a lot of that stuff. And I remember him saying, how many times are you going to change? And it's like, you know, I don't like how I look. I don't like how this looks. Or I buy something and I think it's going to look great, and I get it home. I liked it at the store, but then I got home and put it on for when we were going to go out and didn't like it. So I think that, you know, people didn't understand that, or he didn't understand that, what I was going through with that.
And have you ever felt that no one understands your weight struggle?
Yeah, a lot. So I know that lots of people, most of the population, struggle with weight when it comes to just being where they don't want to be. However, very few of the population, especially the ones around me, struggle with being up by 400 pounds. It's like a new level, and I often feel that nobody understands. Yeah, I'm happy to not be there anymore. I'm down under the 350s, which is super fun. But yeah, I've often felt like in a world of my own, in a class of my own, with having to do things. Kids especially, they just don't get it. They don't get why you wouldn't want to run outside and go sledding with them, or why you wouldn't want to I don't know, exercise with them, jump up and down, be a jungle gym for more than 5 minutes at a time. Like, there's just there's no understanding there. And I'm glad to say that's changing in myself. Like, I see that big change. So I'm feeling like I'm in a place now, especially with this group, where people do understand more. But yeah, that's being as big as
Have you ever felt that no one understands your weight struggle?
Oh, probably my entire adult life. Oftentimes it looks like I'm just trying stuff and I'm never going to get there. And so, like, why do I keep trying things? And so I don't feel understood, that there's just this inner desire, like, I need to get this weight off, and yet feeling hopeless about it. And that hopelessness, I don't feel understood, or that struggle, that constant inner battle. And I would probably say one comment that came to mind was, if I think of even my husband, like, he needs to lose a bit of weight for himself, a little bit, but he's not like overweight. He's never been. And he one time said to me, he's like, well, why don't you just eat less than what you're burning? I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, I don't think it's that hard. And I remember thinking about it, and I was telling him about how it's like on your mind almost all the time. And I was trying to explain to him how it's in your head, this battle. And he just looks at me kind of like completely like, I don't get how that, like, I don't get it. And that was when I really understood, no, he doesn't understand because it's not been something he's battled. And so he doesn't understand that inner constant struggle. So for me, that's where like part of me doing this journey, and it's a small part, but a part of it is like, I just want to show everybody like, no, we don't have to be this way anymore. You can actually change this. Like, I want to be that voice that stands above the others and says, no, we don't have to succumb to this. Like, we're not born to be fat. Like, that's not who it is. That's not who I am.
And have you ever felt that no one understands your weight struggle?
Yeah, it would mainly be people who have never had a weight struggle. You know, just, you know, saying like, just don't eat as, you know, why are, you know, because I've been known as a guy that loves food. I love to eat. I love to make really good, fattening, tasty food. And, you know, in the last year, I put on like nothing, like 20, I was staying, you know, one weight. And then all of a sudden, I'm finding out my clothes aren't fitting my larger clothes that I bought, and I put on 20 more pounds. And you know what it looks like when you try to make that stuff fit? It just looks terrible. So none of my, you know, it's just, and then I tried, yeah. So, yeah. So it's just like, just why do you know, don't go back for a second. So it's mainly the people that have never struggled. And then there's a flip side of that where people who have struggled would say, well, Andy, you just have big bones. You're just a big guy. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I have big
Elephant
big
bones.
Yeah, so they would try to make me feel better with the big bone thing. You just don't look right that small. You're big. You have big bones. So so that's a lie too. And I get those people are trying to be helpful. But
Have you ever felt that no one understands your weight struggle?
No, I've always been surrounded by people who struggled as well, always, even in my family and my friends. So I've always felt understood. I just was always the one who never did anything about it or seemed to get stuck more than everyone else. So everyone struggled, everyone understood the problem, but they actually were making progress over the years. And I kind of up and down 10 pounds, like no substantial progress. But no, empathy, everybody understood. What I will say, the interesting people I feel that don't understand are doctors. I've had 3 doctors tell me that the only way I'm going to lose substantial weight is to go and have gastric sleeve surgery. And I am there. Like I told you guys in the first video, if this didn't produce, which I can already tell you, it is showing me I don't have to do that. But I gave myself 3 months to make this happen so that I can take it back to the doctors and shove it in their face and say, I can do this. If I don't, though, they're going to dig their heels in and say, I mean, they can't force me to have the surgery, but they will feel empowered or emboldened to speak that over me. And I'm like spiteful. Somebody on here said spiteful this morning, or that they were giving it back to Denise. She said she was rejecting the message that was coming to her and speaking over herself. Like, no, this is not how our family is. And I'm saying, yes, I heard the diagnosis. Yes, I hear you say that I have these 3 conditions that directly compromise my ability to lose weight, and I'm still showing you 3 pounds a week. Eat it.
For people that don't understand, I'm pretty much, I get a lot of people that they don't pressure me, or, I mean, I think I put more pressure on myself. So I'm probably thinking, I'm already probably putting it out there that this person must think like, wow, why doesn't she just do it? People don't put the pressure on me. I definitely put the pressure on myself. And it's hard. I have to stop. I also, in the 1 year from now, with the 125 pounds and the vacation, I also want to be the change for a lot of people that are me right now. that want to give up.
I think that's awesome. And I think that's awesome that you already have that vision of, here's where I'm going. And when I get there, I'm going to show other people the way. And I'm going to be the light of, hey, I beat this and you can too. I can see you prancing around in your little 125 body. I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, Judy, you always make me smile. Like always.
Try.
Just how have you ever felt that no one understands the struggle with the weight?
Yeah, because I'm small and I have worked, it seems like my entire life on keeping being small. And so it's like the big joke is, oh, what diet's Peggy on now? You know, because I'm always on a different way of eating. So now I'm just like, no, I'm healthy eating, you know, just healthy eating. That's all it is. So it's not a diet. So
awesome.
Because they
Well,
think,
just those words,
huh?
just those words, that perspective of I'm eating according to my goals, I'm eating healthy, I'm not dieting.
Yeah. Because I'm small, they don't think it's necessary. But I wouldn't be small if I didn't do that my whole life. Even though I struggle with like 25 pounds this time, but yeah.
I think that is awesome. And you guys said that your son invited you to this healthy eating party for Super Bowl today, which is so incredible. But you were the one that championed this whole movement in your family. That was your influence. That was your vision. That was your inability to quit. It was your not giving up on the health you want that started this whole movement in your family. You know that, right?
Yeah. My son compliments me on that sometimes. He's like, we are here because
back when you said yes and you started on this and even the times where you've fallen off, because we all do, and you restarted, did you ever know then it was going to have this kind of trickle effect with your family?
No.
Like,
I always wanted it to.
It did on me because she kept that. Can I jump in? Is that okay? It's Peggy's turn.
Yes, you can come back in, Andy.
Because yes, she would be in here. She didn't put much pressure because I wish she would do this with me. And then, what happened was I could no longer fit in any of I had to go to a larger size. And I'm like, I cannot do this. And then we found out you were doing this. And
that was the day I found out you were doing this
and
transformation. I said, oh,
but
wow,
but it was Peggy. Peggy's, even though she's been up and down some, it's been her consistency with this. And, and it's hard when you don't have I supported her in doing it, but not support in me doing it with her. That's made a huge difference.
And I'm so proud of you, Peggy. Really, your example, your refusal to quit and give up and to fight through and just to make your health a priority. Like, you inspired me that, like, you just don't let yourself slide. Like, some people would say, oh, it's only 20 pounds. It's only, and you're like, no, this isn't the best me. And I don't feel good here. And you fight to be the best Peggy. And I so love that, because it's so easy to say, it's only 20 pounds. It's only 10 pounds. It's only this next size up. I've had kids. I'm a grandma, all the excuses, right? To why we're not trying to be our best selves. And I love that you're just like, no, you have this standard for you and your health, and that's what you want. And I love that. As a grandma, and I'm not a grandma, you're a grandma, but it inspires me to think, no, I'm not going to get to a place where I'm like, well, you're a mom of 3, you now got grandma, or you now are a grandma. It's okay if no, it's not okay if you don't feel your best.
Right.
Because if you don't feel your best, you can't be your best. And so I think that's amazing. So thank you for inspiring me and a bunch of other people, your family, obviously. All right, so this week, and in the coming weeks, for a lot of you, you're gonna start getting into some foreign territory that you haven't been to in a little while. For some of you, that you haven't been to in quite a while. And this is where our vision has to, we have to start really developing our vision, because, and I thought of this morning, actually I saw this, my daughter brought this home yesterday from my mother's house. This is one of my senior photos. Can you see that?
Carmelita.
So as you can see, I was still not small. Here's another senior photo. Now, when I was 288 pounds, I can remember looking at these going, oh, I was so much smaller. If I could only get back to how much I was in my senior photos, which I was under 200 pounds, but not a lot. But if I could just get back to here. And now I look at these, and it's so funny. My daughter brought these to me, and she's like, Mom, look what I got from Grandma's. She goes, you were a beast there. And I was like, she was trying to say obese, but she was like, a beast. You were a beast there. And I said, obese? You mean? She goes, yeah, you were a little fluffier there, Mommy. And I'm like, yes. But at 288 pounds, these photos, I felt like so skinny. I was like, oh, I was so small. And now I look at them, and I didn't feel small on these photos. Like, I mean, this was a large men's sweater that I was wearing. I mean, in my senior photos, I wore a men's sweater. Men's. It was a men's, because I didn't like the girls, you know. Anyway, this was an extra large shirt from Maurice's. Anyone remember Maurice's? Anyway, and so I say all that to say, in my senior pictures, when a lot of people were like thinking back to high school and being all skinny and, you know, oh, I just want to get back to when I was in high school, that was never my goal. The smallest I can ever remember being was a size 7 in the 7th grade. So I was not one of those people that was like skinny, 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 and then I had kids and gained weight. Like I do not have a memory of being my size, ever. So I couldn't go back and have that muscle memory of, oh, you remember when you were a size 2? Remember that? No. No memory, didn't exist. And so a lot of times, something we struggle with is we can't always picture ourselves where we're going. We can't, because a lot of us haven't been there. And this is where faith and vision have to come in. Because for a lot of us, we're going someplace that in our mind we haven't been. And a lot of times if we haven't been there, sometimes we can question, is it even possible for us? Like, it's fine for Mary Jane, or it's fine for Pam, or it's fine for, you know, Peggy Sue or Mary Jo, but can I do it? Like Andy was saying, I don't know if my bones might be too big to go there. But as you build your vision and you start taking away the doubt, vision removes doubt. Vision removes, I don't know if I can. Vision builds faith. Vision builds confidence. And so over these coming weeks, for a lot of you, you're going to start crossing into some unfamiliar territory, some territory you haven't been in a hot second, some territory that you're like, oh, wow. And so it's important to recognize the progress you're making, but also to focus on and keep the eye on the prize and where you're going. You know, Shane said, I've crossed under the 350 pound mark this week. And he's like looking in the mirror going, hey, look at me, like, hey. But as we remove these glasses, and it's so funny, as I was losing weight, after I started getting on about the 50 pound mark, everybody around me seemed like they were gaining weight. Like, everybody started looking heavier to me. No one was gaining weight. I was just losing weight. And so, like, it seemed like in my eyeballs started to see things differently. I started to look at this photo and think, wow, Carmen, you weren't small there. You were, what did my daughter say? You were obese. I was obese here. I was obese. But at my heaviest, this looked small. So I want to encourage you this week, as we're coming into week 4, that you would continue to strengthen that vision. Continue to look at where you're going. Continue to focus on 1 year from now, where do I want to be? Continue to focus on the actions that are going to get you there. Continue to focus on the goal outfits. A goal outfit. What do you want to wear next Christmas? What do you want to wear on a trip that you have coming up? Focus on the things that are coming, not the things that are behind. Focus on where you're going, not on where you haven't been. And as you do that, you are intentionally strengthening your vision. And so, listen, you 7, I still try to come up with a name for y'all. Like, I want to be like the Magnificent 7. I don't know, I feel like I'm ripping off no, it was the Fantastic 4, so I'm not ripping them off. The Magnificent 7. Y'all lost 156.1 pounds since our very first meeting. And it's only the beginning. You're already starting to see your lives change. I can already see, you guys get on the camera and I'm like, wow, they're looking so much younger. Like their faces are looking so much smaller, and we're only like a portion of the way into this. So I am beyond proud of you. You are doing amazing. Keep it up this week.
Okay. 156.1 pounds, like shut the front door. These 7 people, when I added all that up in the video, I was just like, that is nuts. 7 people in 156 pounds in the last 4 weeks. Like, absolutely. I am so beyond proud of them. And when you listen to their struggles and you listen to what they're overcoming and you listen to how they're just willing to be so open and so vulnerable. And even when it doesn't come easy, right? Like, it's one of those things that for a lot of us, when we struggle with weight, we push this thing down, we hide from it, we don't show it, we don't talk about it, we certainly don't put a spotlight on it. And then for them to get involved with not only something where they're taking control of that part of their life, or they're losing weight, but to let the whole world in on it is a whole nother thing. And so these 7 people, they're an inspiration. They're not only changing their lives, but they're impacting lives. The messages that we've been getting from you who are watching, talking about, this week I went through the questions that you asked them as well. This week, here's what I struggled with, and here's how I overcame. Your messages of how you are overcoming and how this is inspiring you has blown me away. And so thank you for watching. Thank you for encouraging. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the likes, smashing the like button, for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for going over to your places, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, or, messaging this to your friends. The support that has been rallying around these 7 people has been absolutely incredible. And I know that it's just going to keep building as they go. And they're changing their lives. They're changing their communities. They're changing the direction of their family. And so I could not be prouder of them. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, smash that like button. Share this. We all need inspiration. All of us. And inspiration is like one of those things. It's like brushing your teeth. You have to do it regularly and often. Daily, several times a day. The more inspired you are, the more inspiration you have in your life. Inspiration is what causes us to act. Inspiration is what causes us to make change. Inspiration is what causes us to get off the fence and do something great. And these 7 people are doing exactly that. They're overcoming their crap, they're overcoming their junk, and they are inspiring a whole group of people. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you next Wednesday on another episode of The Biggest